guys. You all know my favorite time of the day is read aloud, and I haven't been able to read to you since December 13th. And I didn't get to finish Edward Tulin. I hope Miss Breen did because it's my favorite ending ever. That's the whole reason why we read it. If she didn't, you need to let me know so that I can pick up where we left off and we can finish it together. I have some books that I want to read to you, chapter books, and I'm hoping I can get a couple in, and hopefully we get back to school and we'll go from there. So the first one I want to start with is Crenshaw by Catherine Applegate. Crenshaw, Wish Tree, The One and Only Ivan were all written by Catherine Applegate, and so I really like her writing. I like the books too. The format of them is just like small chapters. It's probably hard to see with the sun glare. Smaller chapters and smaller pages but bigger words. It's just comfortable to read. And she always just has a really good imagination. I haven't read Wish Tree yet. I need to. So I'm going to try to post a video every day of me reading. I would love to go live with reading. It's just hard to get everyone on the same time. But maybe I can record it and put it up for those that don't get to see it. So I'm in Hunter's room as always. This is like my work zone for some reason. He's downstairs with either my mom or Alex's mom or sister so I could get some work done. And then I take over his room. But this is it's such a comfortable chair. I wish I had this in the classroom. So I'm going to read a bit. Hopefully you guys will watch and enjoy. And I'll get started. I'm just going to read you the blurb. Jackson and his family have fallen on hard times. There's no more money for rent. And not much food either. His parents, his little sister, and their dog may have to live in their minivan. Again. Crenshaw is a cat. He's large, he's outspoken, and he's imaginary. He has come back into Jackson's life to help him, but is an imaginary friend enough to save this family from losing everything. It's a pretty serious tone. The fact that they struggle with having a home, it says again, so they've gone through this again. And then I kind of like, how does this imaginary cat play a role? All right, Crenshaw. Part 1, A Door is to Open. I noticed several weird things about the surfboarding cat. Thing number 1, he was a surfboarding cat. Thing number 2, he was wearing a t-shirt. It said cats rule, dogs drool. Thing number 3, he was holding a closed umbrella like he was worried about getting wet. Which, Rory's trying to get up. Which, when you think about it, it is kind of not the point of surfing. Thing number 4, no one else on the beach seemed to see him. He'd grab a good wave and his ride was smooth, but as the cat neared shore, he made the mistake of opening his umbrella. A gust of wind yanked him into the sky. He missed a seagull by seconds. Even the gull didn't seem to notice him. The cat floated over me like a furry balloon. I looked straight up. He looked straight down. He waved. His coat was black and white, penguin style. He looked like he was heading somewhere fancy in a hairy tuxedo. He also looked awfully familiar. Crenshaw, I whispered. I glanced around me. I saw sandcastle builders and frisbee tossers and crab chasers, but I didn't see anyone looking up at the floating, umbrella-toting surfer cat. I squeezed my eyes shut and counted to 10 slowly. 10 seconds seemed like the right amount of time for me to stop being crazy. I felt a little dizzy, but that happens sometimes when I'm hungry. I hadn't eaten since breakfast. When I opened my eyes, I sighed with relief. The cat was gone, the sky was endless and empty. Whoof! Inches from my toes, the umbrella landed in the sand like a giant dart. It was red and yellow plastic, decorated with pictures of tiny smiling mice. On the handle, printed in crayon, were the words, "This boomer shot belongs to Crenshaw." I closed my eyes again. I counted to 10. I opened my eyes, and the umbrella, or the boomer shot, or whatever it was, had vanished, just like the cat. It was late June, nice and warm, but I shivered. I felt the way you do the instant before you leap into the deep end of a pool. You're on your way to somewhere else. You're not there yet, but you know there's no turning back. And I like they have a little outline of the cat. Here's the thing. I am not an imaginary friend kind of guy. Seriously, this fall I go into 5th grade. At my age, it's not good to have a reputation for being crazy. I like facts, always have. True stuff. 2 + 2 = 4 facts. Brussels sprouts taste like dirty gym socks facts. Okay, maybe the second one's just an opinion. And anyway, I've never eaten a dirty gym sock, so I could be wrong. Facts are important to scientists, which is what I want to be when I grow up. Nature facts are my favorite kind of facts, especially the ones that make people say, no way. Like the fact that a cheetah can run 70 miles per hour, or the fact that a headless cockroach can survive for more than 2 weeks, or the fact that when a horned toad gets mad, it shoots blood from its eyes. I want to be an animal scientist. I'm not sure what kind. Right now, I really like bats. I also like cheetahs and cats and dogs and snakes and rats and manatees, so those are some options. I like dinosaurs too, except for them all being dead. For a while, my friend Marisol and I both wanted to be paleontologists and search for dinosaur fossils. She used to bury chicken bone leftovers in her sandbox for digging practice. Marisol and I started a dog walking service this summer. It's called See Spot Walk. Sometimes when we're walking dogs, we'll trade nature facts. Yesterday, she told me that a bat can eat 1,200 mosquitoes in an hour. Facts are so much better than stories. You can't see a story. You can't hold it in your hand and measure it. You can't hold a manatee in your hand either. But still, stories are lies when you get right down to it, and I don't like being lied to. I have never been much into make-believe stuff. When I was a kid, I didn't dress up like Batman or talk to stuffed animals or worry about monsters under my bed. My parents say when I was in pre-K, I marched around telling everybody I was the mayor of Earth, but that was just for a couple of days. Sure, I had my Crenshaw phase, but lots of kids have an imaginary friend. Once my parents took me to see the Easter Bunny at the mall. We stood on fake grass next to a giant fake egg and a giant fake basket. When it was my turn to pose with the bunny, I took one look at his paw and yanked it right off. A man's hand was inside. It had a gold wedding ring and tufts of blondish hair. "This man is not a rabbit," I shouted. A little girl started to cry. The mall manager made us leave. I did not get the free basket with candy eggs or a photo with the fake rabbit. That was the first time I realized people don't always like to hear the truth. He's quite wise for a 4th grader going into 5th grade. I think sometimes life experiences can make you that way. If he's having issues with living and food and his family's in tough times, sometimes it makes you grow up faster because you don't have the ability to always have fun and relax. And so it can kind of make you a little wiser because you've gone through some life stuff. After the Easter Bunny incident, my parents started to worry. Except for my 2 days as mayor of Earth, I didn't seem to have much of imagination. They thought maybe I was too grown up, too serious. My dad wondered if he should have read to me more. My mom wondered if she should have let me watch so many nature shows where animals eat each other. They asked my grandma for advice. They wanted to know if I was acting too adult for my age. She said not to worry. No matter how adult I seemed, she told them, I would definitely grow out of it when I became a teenager. A few hours after my Crenshaw sighting at the beach, he appeared again. No surfboard this time, no umbrella, no body either. Still, I knew he was there. It was about 6 in the evening. My sister Robin and I were playing cereal ball in the living room of our apartment. Cereal ball is a good trick for when you're hungry and there's nothing much to eat till morning. We invented it when our stomachs were grumbling to each other. Wow, I would love a piece of pepperoni pizza, my stomach would growl, and then hers would grumble, yeah, or maybe a Ritz cracker with peanut butter. Robin loves Ritz crackers. Cereal ball is easy to play. All you need are a few Cheerios or even a little piece of bread all torn up. M&Ms would be good too, if your mom isn't around to say no sugar. But unless it's right after Halloween, you probably don't have any. In my family, those guys go really fast. First, you pick a target to throw at. A bowl or cup works fine. Don't use a waste paper basket because that might have germs in it. Sometimes I use Robin's T-ball cap, although it's probably pretty gross too. For a 5-year-old, that girl can really sweat. What you do is throw one piece of cereal and try to make it as a basket. The rule is you can't eat that piece until you score. Make sure your target's far away or you'll finish your food too fast. The trick is that you take so long to hit the target you forget that you're hungry. For a while anyway. I like to use Cheerios and Robin likes Frosted Flakes, but you can't be picky when the cupboard is bare. My mom says that sometimes. Oh, is your heart just like breaking for them? That makes me sad. If you run out of cereal and your stomach's still growling, you can always try chewing a piece of gum to distract yourself. Stuck behind your ear is a good hiding place if you want to use the gum again. Even if the flavor is gone, your teeth will get a good workout. Crenshaw showed up. At least he seemed to show up while we were busy throwing my dad's brand cereal into Robin's cap. It was my turn to throw and I got a direct hit. When I went to take out the cereal piece, I found 4 purple jelly beans instead. I love purple jelly beans. I stared a long time at those things. Where did the jelly beans come from? I finally asked. Robin grabbed the cap. I started to pull it away, but then I changed my mind. Robin is small, but you don't want to mess with her. She bites. It's magic, she said. She started dividing up the jelly beans. 1 for me, 1 for you. 2 for me. Seriously, Robin, stop kidding around. Where? Robin gobbled down 2 jelly beans. She said, which I figured meant stop teasing me, in candy mouth. Aretha, our big Labrador mutt, rushed over to check things out. No candy for you, Robin said. You are a dog, so you eat dog food, young lady. But Aretha didn't seem interested in the candy. She was sniffing the air. Her ears were cocked towards the front door as if we were having a guest coming. Mom, I yelled, did you buy jelly beans? Sure, she called back from the kitchen. They're to go with our caviar dinner. I'm serious, I said, picking up my 2 pieces. Just eat Dad's cereal, Jackson. You'll poop for a week, she answered. A second later, she appeared in the doorway, a dish towel in her hands. Are you guys still hungry? She sighed. I've got a little mac and cheese left over from dinner, and there's half an apple you could share. Oh, my heart. I'm fine, I said quickly. Back in the old days when we always had food in the house, I would whine if we were out of my favorite stuff. But lately we've been running out of everything, and I had the feeling my parents felt lousy about it. We have jelly beans, Mom, Robin said. Well, okay then, as long as you're eating something nutritious, said my mom. I get my paycheck at Rite Aid tomorrow, and I'll stop by the grocery store and pick up some food after work. She gave a little nod, like she checked something off the list, and went back to the kitchen. Aren't you going to eat your jelly beans? Robin asked me, twirling her yellow ponytail around her finger. Because if you want me to do you a big favor, I guess I could eat them for you. I'm going to eat them, I said, just not yet. Why not? They're purple. Your favorite. I need to think about them first. You're a weirdo brother, said Robin. I'm going to my room. Aretha wants to play dress up. I doubt that, I said. I held the jelly bean up to the light. It looks harmless enough. She especially likes hats and also socks, Robin said as she left with the dog. Don't you, baby? Aretha's tail wagged. She was always up for anything. But as she left with Robin, she glanced over her shoulder at the front window and whined. I went to the window and peered outside. I checked behind the couch. I flung open the hall closet. Nothing, nobody. No surfing cats, no Crenshaw. I hadn't told anybody about what I'd seen at the beach. Robin would just think I was messing with her. My mom and dad would do one of 2 things. Either freak out and worry that I was going crazy, or they think that it was adorable that I was pretending to hang out with my old invisible friend. I sniffed the jelly beans. They smelled not quite grapey, in a good way. They looked real. They felt real, and my little sister just had eaten some. Rule number 1 for scientists is this. There is always a logical explanation for things. I just had to figure out what it was. Maybe the jelly beans weren't real and I was just tired or sick, delirious even. I checked my forehead. Unfortunately, I did not seem to have a fever. Maybe I've gotten sunstroke at the beach. I wasn't exactly sure what sunstroke was, but it sounded like something that might make you feel sick, like you're seeing flying cats and magic jelly beans. Maybe I was asleep, stuck in the middle of a long, weird, totally annoying dream. Still, didn't the jelly beans in my hand seem extremely real? Maybe I was just hungry. Hunger can make you feel pretty weird, even crazy. I ate my first jelly bean slowly and carefully. If you take tiny bites, your food lasts longer. A voice in my head said, never take candy from strangers. But Robin had survived, and if there was a stranger involved, he was an invisible one. There had to be a logical explanation. But for now, the only thing I knew for sure was that purple jelly beans tasted way better than bran cereal. I'm going to do one more. The first time I met Crenshaw was about 3 years ago, right after first grade ended. It was early evening, and my family and I had parked at a rest stop off a highway. I was lying on the grass near a picnic table, gazing up at the stars blinking to life. I heard a noise, a wheels-on-gravel skateboard sound. I sat up on my elbows. Sure enough, a skater on a board was threading his way through the parking lot. I could see right away that he was an unusual guy. He was a black and white kitten, a big one, taller than me. His eyes were the sparkly color of morning grass. He was wearing a black and orange San Francisco Giants baseball cap. He hopped off his board and headed my way. He was standing on 2 legs just like a human. Meow, he said. Meow, I said back because it seemed polite. He leaned close and sniffed my hair. Do you have any purple jelly beans? I jumped to my feet. It was his lucky day. I just happened to have 2 purple jelly beans in my jean pocket. They were a little smushed, but we each ate one. I told the cat my name was Jackson. He said, yes, of course it is. I asked him what his name was. He asked what did I want his name to be. It was a surprising question, but I had already figured out he was a surprising guy. I thought for a while. It was a big decision. People care a lot about names. Finally, I said, Crenshaw would be a good name for a cat, I think. He didn't smile because cats don't smile, but I could tell he was pleased. Crenshaw it is, he said. And there's another little Crenshaw. All right, so we read about 25 pages today. I might pick up the Chromebook and my book later tonight and read another 25 and post it another day. So I won't be seeing the same outfit over and over again. I'm living it up at home. Like your heart should be hurting for him, that he has to deal with the fact that there's not any food. And he's not giving Mom a hard time. It's not because there's nothing he wants to eat. There's just nothing to actually eat. He's handling it very maturely. And I think that's going to show a lot about his character throughout this book. Yet being so mature, he has this imaginary friend. And so what's the purpose of an imaginary friend? All right, so we'll read more tomorrow. And I hope you guys watch this. I might be just talking to myself. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you later. Bye.